Hi, welcome to Ronaldo's. Today we're going to look at the Ecm Technika Profi V. It's a heat exchanger home espresso machine. I'm going to show you how to do the first use setup and we'll look at some of the key features. Okay, so some of the key features on this machine are a liftable hinged lid which reveals the 1.2 litre plastic water tank. It has a float here with a sensor that marries up to a sensor on the back of the machine, and that tells you when the water is low, and this orange light will go off. It has a fabulous steam wand on a ball and socket. Ecm steam wands are really the best in the business, give you super milky textured milk when you're foaming. And you can see from our other videos how fabulous these are. The new Technika Profi has these improved levers which have a metal end and can be north, south, east or west for the steam. The handle now is angled so that when you're tamping, the basket sits really parallel to the work surface. And again, beautifully weighted, really nice ergonomics, great feel in the hand for the portafilters. E61 group head, absolute class. And a nice feature that Ecm have done, the removable drip tray now has a reinforced edge and a blanking disc position so that you don't lose your blanking disc when you do the most important thing, which is cleaning your machine. Okay, so I've filled the water tank and we're going to do the first use now. So what we need to do is get water into the thermosiphon system and allow any air to be expelled so that we're ready for the first use. So I'm going to talk you through this. So the first thing we need to do is just knock the machine on, and you can see that the orange light now comes on and you can hear the water now beginning to fill up in the system. And here's the PID display. It's at 23 degrees, but it will start to heat up and get up to about 120, which is the boiler temperature. Okay, so after about 10 minutes, the digital display is showing 100 and 121 degrees centigrade, and the bar pressure for the steam has got up to 1 bar. So what we have to do now is just lift the brew lever and expel about 500 milliliters of water just to get the water through the thermosiphon system. Okay, so that's enough water expelled. What will happen now is that the group head temperature will get up to the true temperature and we'll be ready to start making coffees. So this process will take about 20 minutes. Your normal heat up time thereafter is about 15 to 20 minutes for the Technika Profi. So I'm just going to show you the PID now. This is the digital display. It has 3 functions. One is the boiler temperature, which relates to the brewing temperature, and you can set that to Fahrenheit or centigrade. It has an eco mode, which is designed to switch the machine off after a certain amount of time, and you dictate that time. And the third one is the cleaning mode, so you can set the number of cleaning cycles that you want as a reminder. So to access the digital display, press both the buttons down, and you can see T1 is your temperature. That equates to the boiler temperature, which is 120. But at the group head, that boiler temperature is 93.4. To access it, press both buttons down, and then you'll need to press either button to get into the cycle. If you leave it more than a couple of seconds, it will go back to the default. So hold the button down, go into the menu, and you can scroll up and down. 124 degrees is 96.2, which is possibly a bit too hot for the group head temperature. So what we're going to do is just take it down to 120. Boiler temperature is 120. That's 93.4 at the group head temperature. Accessing a second mode, hold the button down, and we can scroll through the different modes here. So what we're going to look at is the cleaning cycle here, CLN. So clean, and this is set by 10 increments. And what I would suggest is if you are having double shots for specialty coffee, you might want to set it around about 60, 70 double shots. The cleaning cycle will only take effect if your brew lever is going for more than 15 seconds per shot. So it will count each cleaning cycle so long as your extraction time is 15 seconds or longer. The next mode I'd like to show you is the eco mode, which goes up into 30-minute increments. So if we set it at 120 minutes, that is 2 hours. And what effectively will happen is when you've made your last coffee and then set it to 120 minutes, you can leave the machine and the machine will turn off after that time. If you decide that you want a coffee in the meantime, just lift the brew lever and it will cancel the eco mode. And then we have degrees in centigrade or Fahrenheit. Obviously, in the UK, we'd probably prefer centigrade. And another great feature about the PID is once we start our shot, obviously with our filter in, you'll see that the temperature turns into a second counter. So this is a great way to time our extraction. And listen to how quiet that rotary pump is. So we've just ground 17 grams of coffee of our Casa espresso blend into the portafilter, and we're going to start our shot. And you can see that beautiful mouse's tail coffee just starting to blonde. And the second counter. We're looking at a ratio of 2 to 1, so about 34 milliliters of liquid coffee. And you can see that settling down like a lovely pint of Guinness. So we're just going to pour a shot now and do some milk steaming. One of the great things about this machine, the heat exchanger, is that the espresso extraction and the milk can be done at the same time. There's no drop in the bar pressure at all. Now this is a 2-hole tip. We can exchange it for a 5-hole tip quite easily. Which obviously is a bit more aggressive and will heat up the milk a lot quicker. But for first-time users of the machine, the 2-hole tip is a little bit more forgiving. So it might well be that that's what you'd like to use. Cheers, everyone. And that is a beautiful flat white. Okay, so one of the most important things about your machine, maintaining it, is cleaning it. 2 minutes at the end of every session, this thing's going to last you for years. So a little bit of manual work, and I'm going to show you best practice. You'll just need your blanking disc, which is a solid plate, comes with the machine. A group head brush, nylon brush, some cleaning powder, and a rag. So what we're going to do is insert the disc into possibly the single portafilter that comes with the basket. You can keep it there if you like. You can see the build-up of coffee here from the last shot that we did. So we're just going to run some water through. Give that a clean, and around the edge, the inner edge where the seal is, take your rag and then just run that around the inside. And you can see there's a bit of build-up of coffee there where we've just made a shot. If you've just made yourself 1 or 2 coffees, and bear in mind you've got your cleaning cycle mode as well, all I would do is put the blanking disc in, lift the lever for, say, 6 or 7 seconds, and then you can see that just slightly brown, because we've only made 1 or 2 shots on this, and just do that twice. And turn the machine off, or leave it on your eco mode. And you are finished. That's all you need to do. But what is really good practice is if you've made your coffees and you've done multiple coffees with your cleaning mode, remember, we've set it to 50 shots. All you need to do is take your cleaning powder, put that much in, tip of your finger, and then run it through for about 8 seconds. You'll see the powder starting to work there, but we're going to keep the solution in the blanking disc. And again, just lift the lever, lift the brew lever, run it for about 8 seconds, and stop. And you can see the solution starting to brown slightly, so it's back flushing the coffee oils out of the inside of the shower screen. We're going to do that about 4 times. And then throw the solution away. And then we're just going to back flush another 4 or 5 times so that the water is clear. And when it's free of any coffee or any solution, we're basically good to knock the machine off and start again. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering why we've got such a big tub of cleaner, and that is because these portafilters do get coffee oil buildup, and coffee is a pretty messy business. So what we suggest is put your portafilter in a little bowl of boiling water, 2 good scoops of cleaning powder, and just leave that for a few hours, or preferably overnight, and do this every week or so. It's really good practice. The baskets are stainless steel. You can just wash them out in the sink, and then after you've taken this out of the solution, just wash it in the sink, and you're good to go. You can see the orange light is on, which is telling us that there is enough water in the reservoir, but this is close to running out, so I'm just going to let this run out and show you what happens. You can see the flashing now telling you that we're getting low on water. And there we go. So these are the items that come with the Technika Profi. There's a braided cable if you want to hook the machine up to mains, or you can have it as we've shown on the water tank. You get a steel tamper, a blank disc, your group head nylon brush, and 2 portafilters and the drip tray. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video on the Technika Profi V. Just to summarize some of the fabulous aspects of it: PID, which give you the second counter, the eco mode, the temperature, and the cleaning cycle. Fabulous steam wand with levers. E61 group head, absolutely stunning. Amazing portafilter. which is weighted and ergonomically spot on. We've got the reservoir, and it has mains connection as well. The drip tray is removable. There's a holder for the blanking disc. The build quality is absolutely exceptional. It's completely stainless steel throughout, chromed. There's no plastic anywhere on this thing. Great dials, slightly bigger and improved. Just a wonderful piece of kit for your money.